Happy freaking Monday. This is Katie and I were just talking about this before you guys got on here. This is call number 88. Katie, and what did you just say? Why is 88? Why is that a cool number?
Because that was the year I was born.
Yeah.
88 was the best year of all time.
Yeah. I'm gonna second that. I was also born in 88. If you guys didn't know this, Katie and I are pretty much the same age. We are like 2 months apart actually. So Katie grew up in Bozeman. That's where Bozeman Five Star Cleaning is. Elias on here today. So you see the Bozeman Five Star Cleaning avatar on here. That's actually Elia. And so that's where our first cleaning business started at. And I actually came to Bozeman in 2007 for college. And Katie and I had classes together. We had a degree that was very similar. And Katie and I even had, and we never knew of each other until 2014. And it was crazy that we lived in this town, Bozeman, which isn't that big. I mean, it's not small, but it's not big. It's like 50,000 people. And we literally didn't even like know each other, but didn't even know of each other. Like never even like heard the name Katie Peterson ever until 2014. And so, and then it's actually when I started my gym. So I started my gym in December of 2013, and in March of 2014 is when I met Katie. And yeah, I met her as like my friend who I worked out with at my gym was dating her friend who worked with her and introduced us. And so that's how Kid and I met in 2014. So that's what, 12 years ago, almost 12 years ago, or over 12 years ago. Yeah. And so I think we dated for 4 years, and then we've been married for 8 years now. It's kind of in the game. Yeah. So there's a little back history on 88. And also, if you guys want to know how old we are, you guys can do the math on that. So, but with that being said, this is call number 88. And the reason that we started this call was to document the journey of Mesa Five Star Cleaning, which is our second home cleaning business, which is in Arizona, which is in a different state. If you guys didn't know this, all you Canadians anyway, in the United States. So we started this business with the intention of honestly learning the business better, because the first one was somewhat on accident. We got to where we got to. And the second one, I would say this one was on purpose, very purposeful. Katie started out cleaning in the field for probably the first 90 days. I started out in the office doing the sales, doing the hiring, doing everything office stuff that you would do. James is on here today. He helped me actually with Mesa Five Star when I first started out. And also, like, just as a side note, like James is on here today. You guys have VAs in the Philippines. There was a super typhoon that evacuated a ton of people and tons of problems. And James actually had to evacuate his house and still showed up to work today. And James has been with us for how long, Katie? 2 years or 3 years?
I think three. James, yeah, three.
James knows more than we do. James is smarter than us. For 3 years, and like James has never missed work. And so there was a post inside our community the other day about, VAs not working because of weather stuff. And yeah, James and Jay have been our two longest VAs. Jay's been with us for 5 years. James with us for 3 years, and always show up to work. And like, this is why, because even under the worst circumstances, they find a way to. He's borrowing a computer because his computer got messed up, right? Like, that's commitment. That's commitment, right? James shows that he wants to be here by his actions. Not that he says he wants to be here, but he just figures it out how to show up. And so big shout out to James. And yeah, for helping us start Mesa Five Star Cleaning, and now he helps with the coaching business, right? And he's my right hand man for all you guys who are inside the coaching business. You guys probably talk to James if you applied to work with us in some manner. You're texting James if you have any issues. Basically, anytime you're texting James. So yeah, and he's the one who lets you guys into this call, and he's the one who uploads all the recordings. And so if you guys are always looking for recordings, James, if you want to, you can put the link for the free group. So if you guys want to go back and listen to like last week's call as an example, James will drop the link for the Road to a Million replays inside the free group. If you guys are inside the paid community, you guys can go into the classroom and watch the replays inside there as well. But James is the one who does all that stuff. He gets it so that way you guys have the resources you need to be as successful as you possibly can be. And so, yeah, so speaking of last week we shared that second location, Mesa Five Star Cleaning, it hit its first $1 million run rate. It did $92,000 last month in October. which is no more of a surprise to me than it is to probably you guys. Like after 19 months, we started the business at zero. We got to over $90,000 a month, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It really is. Like I still think it's crazy, and I was there for every freaking week of it. And then this morning, I was reminded of. I had a meeting with two clients this morning, Jessica and Lucas Van Hoffen. They've been the people I've been coaching the longest since 2023. And I had an opportunity to go through their books with them today. And I was like, I'm just curious, like profit, like how much money are you actually freaking making, right? Like everyone talks about the top line, but I got the opportunity to go through their books. And when they started coaching, they had been in business for 10 years. So this was 2023. They started the business in 2013, and their revenue was $13,000 a month. And if you equate that over 12 months, that's like $150,000 in revenue for the year. And as I was looking at their books, I realized that they had done more profit than they did revenue when they started coaching. I was just like, wow, insane. And just like so grateful for their persistence and their humility to learn and their desire to want to get better. It's crazy. Like, and they were a huge benefit of Mesa 5-star cleaning for us making the systems better that they could apply that into their business. And then the second person who I met with this morning, with Julia Callahan. And Julia started her business in September of 2024. 0 clients, 0 reputation, 0 business experience. And yeah, last month she did $103,000 in revenue. And I also got to look at her profits, and yeah, it was wild. And I was telling her, I was like, this was one of the reasons why I started Mesa 5-star cleaning, because like I saw the opportunity that I don't think most people did, was that you literally have a business that there is absolutely 0 barrier to entry that can change your freaking life. And let's just call it 2 years, but like she did it in a year, but let's just say most people, if you just dedicated 2 years and you were focused and you were committed, you could change your freaking life. You can make over 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. And you guys want to know what the barrier to entry is? You guys want to know what the barrier to entry to it actually is? Because it's not vacuums and rags. Not a single person in here is concerned about buying vacuums or rags. You guys want to know what the actual barrier to entry to that goal is. It's the courage to commit, the humility to learn, the conviction to sell, and the self-control to follow the freaking plan. If you can do those 4 things, you can have $1 million home cleaning business. You are the only gatekeeper to those goals. And that's what the goal with us starting this call was to show you guys that Katie and I are not special at all. Not even a little bit, 0. I told you guys, Katie and I met in 2014 in March. I started my first business, which was a gym, in 2013, in December 2013. And 2014, 2015, 2016, those 3 years, you guys want to guess how much revenue I made in 3 years? How much revenue I made in 3 years combined? $135,000 in 3 years. Dina, you're correct. It's $5,000 a month. That's how much for 3 years. I was very bad at business. Very bad. I knew nothing. I didn't have any skills. I had 0 skills. I had 0 direction, and I had a huge freaking ego. And that's why I didn't grow. And so it wasn't until I was very fortunate to meet this gentleman named Alex Hormozy. He gave me the opportunity to buy his business system. And because it was really early on, I also got the extra bonus of him actually coaching me and mentoring me. I said this last week, but at the time he used this app called Voxer. Some of you guys might have heard of it. Most of you guys probably haven't heard of Voxer, but it was like a walkie-talkie app. It was a walkie-talkie app. And so I would get these like voice memos from Alex just asking me, numbers, give me numbers. And he would, just give me random, I would say random encouragements, but it was more like random, like, do your job, right? Um, and yeah, through the accountability and through the system plus like the coaching I got with him, in the very first month, our business went from doing 5,000 a month to doing $50,000 a month. But it was also like one of the hardest times of my life. Like it was, for lack of a better word, it was hell every single day. It was hard. I was very afraid. I was afraid to talk to people. I was afraid to like handle all the problems that came with making money that fast. Because by the way, guys, if you guys make money fast, like there's problems that come with it. If you're going to make money, the more money you make, the more problems you have. And that's what I didn't understand now, which is what I'm trying to help you guys who are newer to business understand, that like when you guys face problems, like it's a good thing. It's actually a sign you're growing. Because like I said, I did $135,000 in revenue in 3 years. Like in October, guys, our home cleaning business did over $200,000 in 1 month. So like it's not lost upon me, like how hard that is to do. It's very freaking hard. But I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier when you have a freaking system that actually works. It's a lot easier when you're part of a group that are all using the same system and you're also seeing success and they're also seeing success. And so that's one of the reasons that I have all the people inside the community on this call too, is that people who are not to the community, people who are like, who's this guy or who are these people? Is this a scam? Is this real? Like you can, if you don't believe us, that's okay. That makes you normal. That makes you a human being. Like we naturally have low trust. But you know what you should do is go message Kristen Hazunga, go message Renee Krause, message Kayla Holmbeck, Julia, Jessica Lucas, Marie Jed, Bob and Ryan, right? Some of these people who have had success with this program, and just like ask them the real questions. Like, tell me what parts you hate about it. Tell me the problems with the program. Tell me what things you do differently. Like ask real freaking questions. Like actually want to know. Like you can message them all right now if you want. Private message them. I don't care. They don't care either. Although like they will actually answer your questions very truthfully. None of them get paid. None of them. They all pay me. That's right. Pay me. I'm just joking. That is why we do this. Is try to create as much social proof as possible. Is that like, yes, Katie and I might have been the ones who started it, but the people that you guys should believe in is the people who use the system, people who are actually growing their businesses, right? Sorry, James, I told you that I was only gonna have you do one link, but if you will pull up the website and then put on the link to the client wins, you can share all the wins. Yeah, so there's a bunch in October. There's obviously a bunch from the previous year as well, but yeah, just some crazy wins, right? And so that's how you guys can ensure your probability of success, is like be around other successful people. Which by the way, guys, is scary, because at first you have, in order to put yourself around successful people, you first must realize that they're more successful than you because they're doing different things than you're doing. Not because they're naturally better, not because they have any other advantage other than they put themselves in the situation. And that's all I wanted to be able to give the opportunity for people to do if they actually want to be successful. If they wanted to align their actions with the goals of building $1 million business, then put yourself in a situation where it's quite literally very difficult not to grow when everybody in the freaking group is growing. And when you're not growing, you know whose fault it is? It's your fault. It's 100% your fault. And that's what you want. You want it to be you. You want to be the deficit. Because when you work on you and you make your skill sets better, you become more courageous, you commit more, you have more humility, you learn more, you become better at sales, you have more self-control. Your business will grow, and your business will grow as a reflection of your personal growth. And that is why this business is so freaking good. I love this business so much for that reason. Like I told you guys, this was the vision that I caught, was that you needed no skills to start with. And you need to be able to buy a vacuum and some rags. That's all you need to do to start this business. The barrier to entry is zero. And the opportunity is a transformative life, if you're willing to do the transformative work beforehand. And I have another call on Mondays. It's my Mesa team meeting. And Alaya is actually on that meeting as well. And like the entire time, I just sell them. And I'll sell you guys on this too, because by the way, it's true. is that look forward to problems. Like get excited. Like when you feel scared, get excited. Like that's how you know you're moving towards your goals. And when you can say that and then you do it and then you see the evidence of it, you're more likely to do it again. That's what's required to grow, guys. The reason that Kate and I work so hard to go first, to grow the $1 million business now twice, is so that when we say this is required, you guys just have a higher probability of just being like, I believe you. And so you'll just do that, because if you just focus on those 4 things, the courage to commit, the humility to learn, the conviction to sell, and the self-control to follow the plan, you can grow a $1 million business. Anybody can do it if you're willing to do those 4 things. And Mesa, 5-star cleaning, proved that. Julie Callahan proved that. You guys will look at those client wins, the Jessica Lucases, man, there's so many, the Renee Krauses, there's so many wins in there. James, did you find that link? Kitty, will you go find that link? So many wins. And so today, we're actually going to be breaking apart the business model, the business system, into cleaning. Kind of. We're talking about the fulfillment. Thank you, James. If you guys look in the chat, you guys will see there's a link for all the client wins, and you guys can see all the people who are winning. Just as a reminder that it's possible. It's realistic. In the home cleaning business, you can grow a big business if you use the right system and you do the right things for the right period of time. And so today we're talking about the cleaning. We're talking about really like how do you grow $2 million cleaning businesses? Is you gotta be able to understand how to have your cleaners be able to do what they're supposed to do, which is deliver a 5-star experience. I want to share with you guys actually how this philosophy came to be, because I'm gonna give you guys a spoiler alert. It has very little to do with cleaning, and it's gonna bug some of the cleaners out there, people who are really good at cleaning. And my goal is not to create a rift between us. It's just trying to help you understand the perspective. Is that like Kate and I didn't come into this business as cleaners, and so in 2022, so this was 2 years into the business, Kate and I had dinner with Alex and Layla. And we were, again, about 2 years into the business, and we were sharing with them what our problems were. And at the time, the business was doing about $45,000, almost $50,000 a month. And after that conversation, like Alex and Layla were like, simple, right? Layla was like, you need to hire a recruiter. Like very simple, like hire one person whose job it is just to bring on cleaners. This is your problem. And then Alex said something really good. And Tyler Stowers on here. I think the last time I told the story, he actually went and found the link, so maybe he can find the link again. But Alex told me this, and he's like, Logan, he's like, you're not in the cleaning business. You're in the recruiting and training business. And then I was like, oh, okay. And so that's when it kind of shifted for me. And yeah, in 2023, that's when our business went from doing $50,000 a month to doing over $100,000 a month, as we finally understood what business we were actually in. And so guys, I'm actually going to break down what that actually means, because that's like very pie in the sky. And today we're going to talk about what does that mean to be in the recruiting and training business. And so we have built our entire training of new cleaners on 4 values and 4 standards. This is actually how Bozeman and Mesa train all of our cleaners. And by the way, we've trained over 100+ cleaners in both locations this year. Probably more than that, probably close to 200, I bet, but at least 100 for sure. My bad, I didn't go do the research on the number, but it's well over 100.
Per city or per location too. Independently, 200 total.
Well, I said it's probably 200 total. So I want to share this with you guys. And if you guys are inside the community, like you guys have heard me say this, but I think it's important for you guys to actually understand the significance of these values and the standards and where they came from. Because the more that you believe in them, the more that you're convicted in holding your cleaners accountable for them, the more you're able to hold your office staff accountable to enforcing these standards as well. So let's start with the values first. And so how we hire people is based on values. And so I remember trying to come up with values, and I don't know. I honestly don't. I think I got lucky, and our business is called 5-Star Cleaning, 5-Star Home Cleaning, and I just thought like, wouldn't it be cool if we use STAR as an acronym? Like that's something that I could remember. So there's a high probability that the cleaners could also remember this acronym. And so it's like STAR, STAR. Like what are the things that come with STAR? S. I was like serve. Like we want to hire people who wanted to serve. How many of you guys have cleaners that like they just want to help people? Like they just have this innate desire. They just want to help. I'm like, that's what I want on my team. I want someone who's got this strong desire to serve, right? And then the T, I was like, T, T, T. And so I'll tell you the story of this because it didn't start out this way, but at first it was like trust. I was like, trust, yes, trust. I want to trust them. But eventually it became teamwork because what I saw was that we wanted people on the team who wanted to actually help their teammates. They wanted to help the other cleaners. They didn't just want to serve the clients, but they also wanted to help and serve their teammates as well. I was like, yes, teamwork. Like, I want to hire a person who wants to be part of the team. A, what's a good A word? Accountable. I was like, yes, we want people to take responsibility for their actions. We want somebody to say, my bad. We want somebody who doesn't just say, I know, or blame. We want somebody to say, yeah, I'll fix it. That's on me. Who wants to hire that person who says, my bad? Or the person who every time that you try to give feedback to, they're like, I know. No, I didn't do it that way. I didn't do it that way. Nope. Didn't do that. Nope. Wasn't me. Yep. You should talk to her. That was her fault. Like, which one of those people do you want to hire? I was like, I want to hire the person that says, my bad. Accountable. And then R. What is the biggest challenge that we have in the cleaning industry when we're referring to cleaners?
The ability to show up.
I was like, reliability, probably the easiest one, right? I just want somebody to show up when they say they're going to show up, do what they say they're going to do. And so that's how these STAR values came to be. It's just like, what I want on my team. And that's stars. I want to have a star on my team. And so this is exactly, guys, how we hire is using the values. Okay. Also, how we fire as well. If somebody is not a star, if somebody who's on the team doesn't want to serve the clients, doesn't want to be a teammate, isn't willing to take accountability, and is not reliable, they show with their actions that they are not a star, and we can only have stars on the team. I want to make this point really clear, because I think this is the part where some people get it and some people don't. Someone like the Jessica Lucases, the Julia Callahans, the Kayla Irbies, the people who got the really big businesses, if you guys want to pay attention to them, like they implemented this in their business, these STAR values. The star in our name, as you can see back here, like it doesn't have to have anything to do with your business. Like I just got lucky. Like that was just, it was a frame, there was a frame I was coming through. Every single person in here, regardless of your name, can use these STAR values. You guys can have stars on your team. I just want to make that clear. You have to change your name. Okay. Your business will be so much simpler when you hire and fire based on values rather than rules. So I told you guys that I have my Mesa team meeting for this, and Elia's on there, and she did a great job of reminding Keziah, who's our general manager of that location. She's like, Keziah, like, we don't have rules. Like, it was so funny. She's like, we don't have rules in this company, right? Like, we have guidelines. And like, that's exactly what these are. It's like, I don't have a hard rule. I'm just like, is this person a star? Like, are you a star? Cool. Sell me on you being a star. I'm like, okay, now I have context. Now I can understand. Like, cool. Like, we have a culture of values, not of rules. And that's how you can have people have autonomy to make their own decisions. And unless you guys want just a bunch of little helpers around you who can only make decisions that you will confirm or deny, like your business, that's not a business, guys. I don't know what that is, but it's prison, close to prison. It's like the whole point of having people on the team is that you trust them to make decisions. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up. This is, how many of you guys ever heard of the word entitlement? You guys ever heard that word before? Entitlement? How many of you guys ever heard of the word empowerment? Cool. How many of you guys believe that those two words, although they sound similar, mean totally different things? Cool, we're all on the same
Yes.
page. But does anybody actually know what the definition of empowerment is? When I say, Randy, I want you to build a culture where your team is empowered to make decisions, like what does that actually mean? Right? I have this document, that's why I pulled it up. So I'm looking over here for you guys who can see me on here. Like I have this document of definitions that I use when I realize that I say words I don't know the definitions to. And I just think that the more that we can speak the same language, we can come to terms, as it was explained to me, then we can actually move towards the same goal. And so how many of you guys believe that you guys want an empowered team versus an entitled team? Which one? A or B, right? One or two, empowered or entitled? You guys can write this one down. This is writer downer. And maybe I'll have James put this in the notes. But the definition of empowerment is giving others the tools and trusting them to lead themselves. Okay. I'll put that in the notes. That way James can give this to you guys. Now, the reason why that definition is important is trust and lead themselves. Which the irony is, like, how many of you guys want to be a leader when you grow up? When you grow up in business, how many of you guys want to be leaders? Cool. You guys want to know how you become really good leaders? Create more leaders. That means that you step aside and let somebody else own the decision, own the responsibility. Encourage them, give them tools.
Let them make mistakes.
Let them make mistakes, right? That's what leaders do. And it's one of the reasons that, like, I just love this community so much. And for you guys who are not to the community, this is maybe something that will be helpful for you. But for all you guys who are inside the community, you guys can echo this if you want, or you guys can fight me if you want to, if you think if it's wrong. But like, the whole community is based on this concept of empowerment. The whole goal is to give Kayla and Renee and Manjot and Kristen the tools to be successful. And I trust that you guys will lead yourselves into growing your businesses. Like, that's what the whole community is based on. It's the reason why I don't do anything for you. It's because that creates entitlement. And some of you guys who have kids that are entitled, it's because of you. And by the way, it's okay. It's probably the easiest place you guys can recognize it is in kids. So, with that being said, empowerment is the key to leading. It's giving tools, resources, and then trusting them to lead themselves, which means that, like as Katie said, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to have some issues. And that's also why it's important for you to just have clarity on what leadership looks like. So then when they do make mistakes, like, okay, good. This is what leadership feels like. This is what leadership is, rather than being discouraged, being like, I'm bad at this. Or really, it's not usually how it happens. It's usually they're bad at this. I'm going to fire them. They got to go. It's like, I should fire your ass is what I should do. But guess what? I ain't in control. So there you go. You get to fire yourself. So, yeah, guys. I think that's why this is so important, is because let's turn this back to math. Is that if you guys actually want $1 million home cleaning businesses, it's not going to be done with one or two people. It's quite literally impossible in this specific business. Okay, in a home cleaning business, you cannot grow $1 million business with one or two people, or even 3 people, or even 4 people, or even 5 people, or even 6 people, or even 7 people, or 8 people, 9 people, or 10 people. It takes 14 cleaners working 28 hours a week on average, if you're charging $55 a man hour, in order for you to have $1 million business. And in order for you to manage 14 different humans, you got to be able to have a framework to be able to make decisions on who should be on the team and who shouldn't be on the team. So now I'm going to have Katie share some examples again, because the goal for today, guys, is for you guys to have like clarity on exactly what these STAR values are, and not only understand what they are, but how do you actually use them? How do you actually be able to spot them? How do you identify them? And that's what Katie's going to share here in a moment, is like some examples of serving, some examples of teamwork, some examples of accountability, some examples of reliability. You guys can even throw some in the chat as well, if you guys have some other ones as well. Okay. But again, for you guys who are inside the community, like, you guys have heard this before. However, it's important for you to hear it again, because Alex says this very, very well. Like, we need to be reminded more then we need to be taught new things. Okay, this business is very simple, but it's just, can you do the boring things? Can you do the things you know you should be doing every single day? And that's where the self-control, number 4, the self-control to follow the plan. Like that's one of the keys to a $1 million business. Can you just do what you said you're going to do when you're supposed to do it every day? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Technically, I guess you could take off Saturday and Sunday if you wanted to, but maybe you should also do it on Saturday and Sunday too. So again, even if you guys are inside the community, like stay with me here. If you guys are not inside the community and you guys want to have access to this system we talk about, and you want to be able to basically test it out for 28 days, we're actually running a 28-day challenge where that's really what it is. It's your opportunity to basically test out this $1 million system, and you get access to literally everything that people who are inside the community get access to. You get access also to the people inside the system, which may be one of the most undersold thing in this entire program is like you get to talk to other people who've done the system and you get to see them and realize that they are human just like you. And really your goal should be, how do I learn from them? Right? How do I get friends with somebody who has $1 million business? Like where else on the internet can you guys go to for free right now? You guys are in a room, you guys are in a Zoom room for free where there's people on here who actually have $1 million businesses who are willing to talk to you for free. Very uncommon, very uncommon, okay? Another uncommon thing is you guys actually can try this freaking system out. So like the more that I explain it to people, the more that I equate this to like a franchise. How many of you guys know what a franchise is? Like McDonald's, Subway, right? So like, most people think of franchises as a brand, but really the brand is second. The first thing is the system. Like McDonald's has a way of doing things. They have a, this is how it's done. You do it on this time frame, and when you do this, you should get this specific result. Okay. Inside the cleaning industry, there's like 3 big franchises. We have Mary Maids, Molly Maids, and The Maids, right? Maids. Now, if you guys want to become a franchise with one of the most established, most credible franchises that are out there right now, it's going to cost you somewhere between $100,000 and $200,000 up front. Like take that money out of your bank account, which most people don't even have that. Get on a credit card, get a business loan, and that's to start from 0. Okay, that's just to get to 0. And then you got to pay that franchise 5% of your revenue, not your profits, your revenue every single month for the rest of your freaking life. They own you. Okay, and they also tell you exactly how to run your business, which, by the way, probably is a good thing in the beginning. But eventually, if you want some autonomy at the end, then yeah, you're literally stuck. Whatever they're going to say. That's what a franchise is. Okay. Now, the way that we built this community was like, I like the franchise in the sense that it's a system. Like, if you do this, you get this outcome. So do that, right? The part I don't like about this, the franchise model is the huge upfront cost, the ongoing cost after that, and like you guys would all have to change your names. And most people like really have a lot of pride in their names, and I recognize that, and fine, right? And so if you guys think about this, but the only way to join our community is actually to use our system. Like that is a stipulation. You can't use your system. You must commit to using this $1 million system that works. That's the only stipulation. But instead of it costing $150,000, it costs $599 for 28 days. You guys get to try it out. And then after that, if you want to stay inside the system forever, if you want to join, you want to be a lifetime access to the mentorship, it's $3,600. That's it. There you go. Interested? Cool. If not, totally fine. You can continue to listen to the free stuff, right? So if you're interested, James dropped the link for the 20-day challenge. And so again, for 28 days, you guys can test the system out. You guys can get in there, see if you like it. I guess worst case scenario, you spend $599 and you get access to the Facebook funnels, the website funnels, the automations, cleaner school, trainer school, all the assets that we've spent 5 years building. And I guess it only cost you $600. Silly, silly, silly. And that's the goal. The point was to make it silly. It was supposed to make it silly because really, guys, the commitment is not going to be your money. And that's the thing I've discovered as now after doing this challenge. I think we've done this challenge now for just 4 weeks. It's been new that we've offered this challenge. And so the challenge is not the system. The challenge is, are you willing to commit to the work? Because everybody wants to grow $1 million business until they actually realize what it actually takes. And that's actually why I make it 28 days. I don't make you guys pay up front for it because like, I don't want you to actually be inside the system if you're not committed to joining the system. Like 20 days is a commitment for me to see what you do rather than the other way around. Like, I don't want non-committed people in the system. I don't need to have non-committed people in the system. The non-committed people don't make the system better. And the goal is very simple: make the system better. And there's two ways to make the system better. Number one is have people use the system, first and foremost, which falls in line with the condition. You must use the system to be inside the community. Okay. But the second way to make the system better is actually bringing better people. And that's the thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for you guys. I'm looking for the humans who actually want to make the system better. Like we talked about stars for our cleaners. Like I'm also looking for stars in you guys, looking for people who want to serve, want people who want to be part of a team, a community, people who are accountable, saying my bad. Because you know what? If it's my fault your business isn't growing, you're screwed. I assure you. I assure you. Okay. And so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for stars, people who actually want to make the system better. And so if you guys do apply, then like the process, even though the price point is very low, I would say the process is somewhat rigorous in comparison to what the price point is. Because you actually talk with Katie first, and she actually learns about your goals. And she sees like, if we can actually solve your problem, and she's going to test your commitment a little bit on that first call. But then if you guys both agree that the system sounds like a good plan, then you'll talk with me, and I'm really going to test your commitment. I'm really going to challenge you, and I'm going to make sure that, number one, that your goals align with what we can provide, and that like you're willing to actually do the work. And then at that point, then you get the opportunity to try the 28 days, right? And then during that 20 days, really your actions are going to show whether that you have the opportunity to actually become a lifetime member of the mentorship. Is like, do you actually implement the system? Or do you make excuses? Do you say, I can't do this? This is too hard. And the reason I'm so confident is because I've had less skilled people than every single person who's going to join this program be able to be successful with this program. Because I spend a lot of time with doing one-on-ones, doing work for free to get the system now to where it's good enough that people with the lowest possible skill still have the ability to get it up and going and to make it usable. It's taken 3 years, almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in April. So I guess more like 2.5 years, right? So even though the challenge is new, what's gone into the challenge is taking 2.5 years for us to even have this opportunity to be able to give to you guys to have an opportunity to test the system out. Okay. No, Sarah Mitchell. Sarah Mitchell's down here in Arizona. She got a big old business as well. But all of these spreadsheets, all of the resources are inside the paid coaching community. I actually used to give some of that stuff away for free, but I realized that people need coaching and training on actually how to use the system. So like the vision sheet is probably a spreadsheet you're referring to. It just became a pain. People were asking questions about this thing, and then all of a sudden, like, this vision sheet's not valuable. I'm like, bro, you don't know how to use it, and that was my fault. So yeah, so all the spreadsheets are part of the paid community because it's not just the spreadsheet, it's the training that goes with it. And probably the most important piece, Katie, what's the most important piece of the spreadsheet, like the vision sheet? It's not even just the training, but it's
the ability to be able to read it.
Yeah, and the accountability to like actually follow through with like what needs to get done, right? So, all right, guys. So we have the STAR values. So that is the half of the equation on how we're able to hire, train, and onboard new cleaners. Okay. The other half. Oh man, I don't even know what time frame this was. This was probably June of 2023. Katie had just got back from her annual trip with this gal named Desiree. Katie, do you know where you went that year? I forget where you went.
No.
So last year you went to, where'd you go last year?
Ireland.
Ireland. So Machu Picchu.
Correct.
Machu Picchu. So came in South America, hiked this crazy ass mountain with this guy named Desiree. Well, Desiree happens to be the spouse of arguably one of the smartest humans on the planet, named Dr. Kashi. And yeah, after that trip, Katie was telling me that Dr. Kashi was actually doing some one-on-one coaching. And I was like, how come no one told me? Like I was like, someone's supposed to tell me. And so I reached out to Dr. Kashi and yeah, started doing coaching with him. And the dude is very smart and he's very good at what he does. And he also, he requests some money, high dollar amount. And so we paid him $4,000 a month and paid him for 9 months. And the whole goal was for me to try to systematize cleaning because that was our biggest challenge in this business Again, if the goal is recruiting, then like, how do we systematize cleaning? How do we just make the process so that people clean the same way every single time? And it took us a long time to realize that like we couldn't systematize cleaning, but we could systematize the experience. And so that's what we focused on. And so these 4 standards, guys, it came from this 9 months of coaching with Dr. Kashi, $36,000, and us understanding that we needed to first systematize the experience so the clients would give us a chance so the cleaners could just get enough reps in to eventually become efficient and faster and become better at spotting and removing dirt. Okay. So standard number 1, Katie, what is standard number 1?
Show up at the client's door 5 minutes early.
You cut out there for a second. Say it again.
Show up at the door 5 minutes early.
Yeah. So when we're thinking about the client experience, we're thinking about it from the client perspective. And what is showing up 5 minutes to the client's door? Like, what does that signal, Katie?
Respect of their time.
Yeah. You have to be surprised at how easy it is to make clients happy when you just do the basics. Again, most people focus on fancy, complex. Show up when you say you're going to show up. Step number 1. Okay. How many of you guys believe that you guys can teach a brand new cleaner to show up to the door 5 minutes early? Can you guys teach that? Also, is it something you guys can teach? Is it something that anybody can do on day 1? Whether they have 20 years of experience or this is day number 1 of cleaning. This is I want you guys to think about this. Okay. If you guys want to scale a cleaning business to 14 cleaners that do 28 hours a week, you're going to have to hire strangers. You're going to have to hire cleaners who don't have experience. You're going to have to be able to teach somebody how to deliver a 5-star experience. Number 1, arrive at the door 5 minutes early. Okay. Number 2, Katie, what's number 2?
Greet the client with a smile.
Weird. Why is that important?
Shows respect. Again, you're enthusiastic to be there. You are excited to serve the person. They are not a burden to you in your day.
At the end of the clean, guys, how many of you guys have ever done a great job cleaning, but a client still complains? Anybody ever had that? You're like, I did a great job cleaning, but the client still complains. They still weren't happy. Yeah.
I feel like every client complaint I've ever gotten was like that.
Well, some of you guys are just bad at cleaning. Maybe that's what it is, Katie. This is actually how you bridge the gap, though, of skill. This is how you bridge the skill gap of cleaning. Is at the end of the day, guys, the only person's opinion that matters is the client's. It's whether they decide, they make a decision, you did good or you did bad. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter if you think you did a good job or your cleaner thinks you did a good job. It just matters what the client thinks. And so greeting the client with a smile is really, it's showing that like you want the client to like you. You want the client to want you to win. How many of you guys have kids? How many of you guys have kids? Raise your hand if you have kids. How many of your kids are beautiful? They're gorgeous. Amazing. You're such a handsome, beautiful young child, right? Yeah. You guys are biased. You are. You're biased. You're biased. You want the client to be biased towards you. You want the client to think of it as your child. That's what you want. Because if they're biased towards you, you guys will just like sweep things under the rug for lack of a bad expression, right? But if the client doesn't like you, they will find something. They will turn the house up to try to find something they can complain about. So the client's gonna be biased, guys. You guys get to choose. You want them to be biased in favor of you, or biased in like, I'm just gonna try to wreck this person. And it all starts with your approach to the door. Okay. Number 3. So first one, arrive at the door 5 minutes early. Number 2, greet the client with a smile. Number 3, Katie.
Remove dirt using a checklist. So every single clean that we walk into, our cleaners have an assigned checklist, and they use that checklist to ensure that the experience stays congruent with what we said to them on the initial call, to when the cleaner shows up, to when the client looks at the checklist and walks through the house themselves after the cleaner has already left. It's a scavenger hunt.
Yes. Yes. Here's some tips that I'll share with you guys. These are all going to be inside the notes. So if you guys are not inside the paid community, James, will you drop the link to the Road to a Million replays for the free school group? So all these replays, including today and the ones from previous weeks, you guys can actually go watch those, okay? And there's gonna be notes inside those as well. So anything we talk about on the call, you guys actually can have access to the notes. So you guys have the highest probability of being able to apply what you learned today. Because guys, like listening to a freaking Zoom call is not valuable. Taking a thought, a concept, and changing your behavior is valuable. So do that second thing. Take something today and change your behavior. James dropped the link, thank you for that. Okay, so here's some things that we'll talk about of like, what does remove drift the checklist mean? Okay, so spend 5 minutes before the clean reviewing the checklist. So this is the advice I would give to my cleaners, like take some time before the clean, look at the checklist that you're gonna go into so you remind yourself where you're cleaning. At the end of the clean, go back through each room with your checklist that you have checked things off and confirm that the things you have checked off are in fact completed. Okay, what is one of the biggest issues that we have, or that I said that we used to have with this process? Because by the way, guys, it's not just enough to follow, like to use the process. Like you actually, it's not just to have the process. You actually have to use the process. You have to actually coach your cleaners on using the process and get better at it. This is a skill.
Yeah, we would have cleaners who have, used the checklist 400 times. They would just go down and check everything off and not confirm that everything that was checked was completed. So the client would call us back and say, this was checked off, but not done. Broken trust.
If you want the client to go bias towards the other way, that's how you piss a client off. Is you say you did something you didn't. That's the fast way to turn the client around. Okay. Make the checklist an asset, not an enemy. So teach your cleaners how to use the checklist, and if they don't do something, don't check it off. And in fact, like write little notes on there. This is why this didn't get done. Communicate to the client the best that you possibly can, so they understand. Give them context. Okay, so we have 3 of the 4 standards. We have arrive at the door 5 minutes early, greet clients with a smile, remove dirt from the checklist. How many of you guys believe you guys can teach those 3 things on day 1 to a new cleaner?
Simple.
You guys understand? You understand how we can hire 100 cleaners per location? You guys want to know how many Google reviews we have? I just want to make sure this is important too, because okay, Logan, you say these things, you have big revenues, but how do you know that you deliver a 5-star experience? Kitty or James, go find the link to both Bozeman and Mesa and put in the Google reviews accounts that we have, like the Google review accounts we have. And you guys can verify this. Bozeman has, I think, 410-ish. Mesa has 682 in 20 months of business. So understand, guys, there's proof behind everything that I'm telling you guys right now. Not only just the revenue, but the Google reviews to go with it. Okay. This is the process. So we have 3 out of 4. Katie, what is the last one? What is number 4?
Last one? It's the best one. Actually, they're all good, but complete a final walkthrough with the client. And this is the best. The person that we have to please, the person's expectations that we have to meet, like Logan said earlier, is not me, the owner. It is not the boss. It is not the supervisor. It is not the team lead. It is not another cleaner. It is the person paying the bill. So we have that person who's paying the bill walk the house. And it's really important what we ask during this walkthrough. As an example, we say, Miss Client, you live here every single day. I've had my 2 sets of eyes in here for the last 3 hours. I am human. I might miss some things. So I would love the opportunity to serve you again. Can you please tell me how I can improve so I can have that opportunity to come back and serve you again? So you ask for feedback. You ask how you get better.
Yeah. The final walkthrough is probably one of the most important things. And again, I'll give you guys some context because now we've been doing this for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And so it's important for you guys, if you guys are selling or if you guys have office staff that are selling, to sell the final walkthrough, because a lot of you guys are thinking well, if the client isn't home, it's fair. And so if you want to increase the probability of delivering a 5-star experience, don't just sell the client to give you money, but sell the client on being there for the walkthrough, so that way you can ensure that the person who is going to say yay or nay can do it right then and there. Okay? So while selling cleaning isn't that challenging, it's a done-for-you service, high probability of outcome of achievement, and can be done as quickly as possible, you must sell them on actually being there for at least the first clean. That's probably the most important one, guys, is number clean, is clean number one. Okay. Yeah, so some coaching on the final walkthrough. On team cleans, have your cleaners double check each other's work. And I'm going to pull that back a little bit because that issue didn't come out right. You're going to have your teammates go into the room that they didn't clean, and they're going to make it better. That's how you're going to communicate it. It's not double check it. It's not inspect it. It's go in there and make it better. If you guys think a first draft is the best draft, does anyone think that like the first draft is the best draft?
Never.
Ever. Some of you guys get my marketing emails, or you guys get something like the messages inside school. Like that's honestly, guys, it's probably like draft 3 or 4 that I actually like send out to you guys. And then and I do that all like on a Monday morning. So like I don't have a ton of time, but like I still do 3 or 4 drafts. And that's how we get a better outcome. And so when you tell your cleaners that there's no possible way that you can have the best outcome with just one draft, then when you're on team cleans as an example, you have the cleaners go into the other person's room and make it better. Go find a way to make it better. Go improve it. And that way people aren't like feeling bad about fixing things. It's part of the culture. Like you make it better. Okay. And really the goal is that you make it better. And that way when it gets to the client, it's the best that it can be. Okay?
It's draft 4.
It's draft 4. Now, if it's a solo clean, same thing. You go in each room and you make it better. Okay. And then you do the walkthrough of the client. So we have what's called a cleaner walkthrough first. So on solo cleans, you inspect your work. On team cleans, you go improve your teammates' work. And then you do a walkthrough of the client. And when you do the walkthrough of the client, Katie said this very well, but I'm going to just emphasize it. It's client, please tell me how I can get better. You live here, you see things that I would never be able to see. And so I just want to make sure that we did a good job today. And if you have us come back, that we can continue to meet your expectations every single time. So when I do this walkthrough, will you please, I beg you, point out to me what you see that I can do better on. Is that fair? Then the client feels inclined to actually tell you. And that's the biggest issue that we've had with this, because I'll tell you guys from experience that we've had cleaners do the walkthrough, and then 5 minutes later, the client calls, said, it sucked. And the cleaner in their notes said, we did a walkthrough, and we realized what happened was that the clients don't feel comfortable doing the walkthrough because the cleaner doesn't feel comfortable receiving feedback. I did a good job, right? Like, here's what I did, here's what I did, here's what I did. And the client just like, they feel bad. They don't want, just like you guys feel bad giving feedback, so do freaking clients, okay? And so instead of making clients have to feel bad, we invite the feedback by selling the cleaners on asking for the feedback and selling them on the fact that there's no possible way that you can do an amazing job on the very first try. It's impossible. It's like, for you to think that is like silly. It's silly goose stuff. And so it's important for you to understand that, and then you to sell your team on that, so then they feel comfortable asking the client for feedback. So there's no way I can be great at this house on day one. So please show me how I can get better, because I want to be great. How many of you guys believe that a client, if presented it that way, will actually tell you? Good probability.
Probably.
Good probability. Doesn't make it 100%. Nothing's 100% life, guys, but much higher probability. Okay. So, do you guys think that you guys can teach those 4 things, those 4 standards, to a brand new cleaner? You can't teach high-level cleaning in a classroom. Not with videos. You can't even do it in 1 week of training. It takes hundreds of reps. Kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms, living rooms. For you guys who've been cleaners, like, you guys know this. It takes reps. You got to make millions of mistakes. And so when new cleaners, they lack cleaning experience, we must prioritize client experience. And for you guys who actually do have good cleaners, the best cleaners are the ones who can do both technical skills and the experience. I'm telling you, when you have both of those, holy crap, you have a very valuable cleaner. And that cleaner can actually make a lot of money because money follows value. And if you guys want your cleaners to make more money, teach them more skills. Four values, four standards. Those are the things that we teach our new cleaners. If we can have stars who are able to perform the four standards and they can get through 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, by that time they get enough reps in where they become more efficient. They start to gain cleaning skills. And then once they're been cleaning for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, they get faster and faster and faster. Now they have both skills. And that's where we've seen like our cleaners are able to like substantially make more money, is because now not only they get more efficient from a speed standpoint, but they also are really good from a client experience standpoint, which, by the way, their tips increase. Some of you guys might not understand this, but like with our Montana location, as an example, like, so we use ZenMaid as a cleaning CRM. And out of all the companies that use ZenMaid, we were in the top 5 of the most tipped businesses, which is kind of crazy to think about. But really, when you understand that there's a process that's followed, and when you follow that process, guess what? You bring the client experience first. Like, clients are more likely to tip you when they feel better, right? So this is in here somewhere. This is in the notes. Where's it at here? You know, can you know what I'm looking for? Oh yeah. So clients logically pay for cleaning, but they keep paying emotionally because of how you make them feel. So the end goal is to have both. But when you're having new cleaners, we have somebody with less experience, like how you get them to the opportunity where they gain enough experience is you have them focus on client experience first. And then that gives them an opportunity to get the cleaning experience. Cool. Katie, anything you want to add to that before we wrap up today?
I think that this is like, it was hard for me to just tell you, yes, you can like share all of the secrets, because this is truly the biggest secret behind the mentorship door is selling the experience. But I think there's one thing that I want to highlight, and it's the star values. So it is one thing to have an expectation of your team to be stars, but you must first go first. So if you are not a team member who your teammates enjoy being around, if you are not a team member who has their teammates' best interest in mind, you will never attract stars to your team.
Yeah.
If you're not somebody who consistently shows up to work and does what you say you do every single time, you can never put that expectation on your team. You must go first.
If you want to attract stars, be a star, right? How many guys were all like excited about the star? You're like, I want to have someone on my team who serves, someone's a teammate, someone's accountable, someone's reliable. Like Katie said, be that person first. Be that person first, right? All right, guys. Yeah, just as a reminder that you guys can find these notes in this recording inside the free home cleaning courses group. And I shared earlier that I was going to give you some examples of how to serve teamwork, accountability, and reliability. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, but those examples are in there, so they're inside the doc. You guys can go look at some of those examples. You guys can get more clarity on what does it mean to serve. What does it mean to be what does teamwork look like? What does being accountable look like? What does reliability look like? You guys can see some of those examples. So James will drop the link, or excuse me, James will upload that into the free home cleaning courses group. And if you guys are inside the community, it's inside the Road to Million replays as well for you guys. And if you guys are interested in test driving this $1 million system that has done it with 2 of our businesses now, and there's 5 other home cleaning businesses in our community that have also eclipsed the $83,000 mark. They're all behind me. We just added 2 in October. One of those is Tristan and Emily. And then of course, Mesa Five Star Cleaning is one of the other ones that we added in just October. But there's 5 other cleaning businesses that are inside the community that are currently doing over $83,000 a month currently. It wasn't just a one-time thing, like it continues to happen. Weird how that works when you have an actual business system. And if you guys want access to that same system and you want to see if you can do these 4 things: courage to commit, humility to learn, conviction to sell, and the self-control to follow the plan. If you can do those 4 things, then you can also join these guys up here. And for all you guys who are inside the coaching community, those four things, what you need to do to show up here. And a lot of you guys like Renee Krause, like she just got to the $60,000 mark. So she hit one of the big milestones. And a lot of you guys are in that 40, 50, $60,000 milestone mark, which is really, really cool. And there's a couple people in here who are just in that 20, 30, $40,000 mark, which is really freaking cool too, because it's not about where you are, it's where you came from. And the part I get excited about is progress. Like I just love seeing progress. I love seeing people go from 10,000 a month to 20,000 a month. I love that. I love seeing 20 to 40. I love 40 to 60. I love 60 to 80. I just love seeing progress. And I think that's the thing that we emphasize. It's not the end result. I don't necessarily care about this behind me, but I care about all the stories that every single person behind me was less than A3000. Actually, every single business was much less than 60,000, or was much less than A3000. Like the biggest business was 60,000. And that was Kayla Irby's business. And now her business has 130, over 130,000. So she might have came in the biggest, but she also leaves the biggest too. So she's also grown by $60,000 a month. Insane. But everybody else, less than $10,000. And obviously Bozeman and Mesa were both zero when we started them. Julia Callahan was zero. Tristan and Emily were 10. Jessica and Lucas were 13. Jacinta was at 36. So those are all the businesses where they started, and all of them went over $83,000 a month. So if you guys are interested in joining the 20-day challenge, you have an opportunity to test drive the system, see if you guys can acquire the skill sets to grow in our business. James dropped the link down below. For all you guys, we'll be back here next Monday for week number 89. We've done this 88 weeks. It's crazy. We're back for week number 89, and I'll leave you guys on a cliffhanger here for you guys who are still on here. We probably have the biggest announcement that we've ever made on this call, and it'll happen next week. And some of you guys will catch you by surprise. Some of you guys will be like, why'd you do that? But I will share with you guys why we did that. And so, yeah, we have a pretty big announcement next Monday that will be a shock for quite a few. And some of you guys will ask why, and I will share with you guys why we did it. So appreciate you guys. Happy Monday. See you guys next Monday. Be on that call. Number 89 is going to be a crazy call. Happy Monday. Have a great week, guys. Go grow your businesses. Go grow yourselves. Bye.
Bye-bye.